Hi guys, welcome to Friday's general love reading. In these general love readings, what I do is I just look at the situation and we're just looking for the next week, okay? We're not looking at, general outcomes or anything like that. We're just looking at what are the dynamics and energies to expect in the next week when we're looking at either your partner, the person you have in your heart, if there isn't somebody in your heart, just in general, okay? And this is also a timeless reading too, so if you stumble upon this video and you're not certain on whether or not you should watch it, if you feel drawn to watch it, then there's got to be some wisdom here for you, okay? So go ahead and pay attention. Anyway, I want to go ahead and let you know the piles. Pile number 1 is the yellow stone, it's citrine. Pile number 2 is a red stone, it's carnelian. And pile number 3 is the orange stone. And of course I've forgotten the name of that. Oh, it might actually be an orange citrine, actually. But anyway, it is orange, okay? Before I begin, and while you guys are picking your pile, want to go ahead and say everything you need to know about me is going to be in the description. It's going to be the timestamps, how to book a private reading, how to donate to the channel, and information about my schedule, all of that good stuff that you might need to know, my contact information. That's how you can get in touch with me if there's anything that you need to get, anything you need to tell me or ask or anything like that. Alrighty guys, I think we're ready, okay? So let's go ahead and start with pile number 1. We're going to put pile number 2 and pile number 3 to the side here. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at those of you who picked the yellow stone. Alrighty. So, we've got the 5 of rods, but it's in reverse, the 4 of swords, and the 5 of cups, but that's upright. Okay. So one thing that you're going to be noticing is that there's something that you're going to really need to get off your chest, something that you're going to need to express with this person, but you're just getting to a point where you can't do it. And this week. This week is not going to be the best time to have a strong heart-to-heart talk about what's been troubling you in this relationship, unfortunately. And I hate saying that because it's just too bad, because I see how important it is for you to have this conversation, or how important it is for you to resolve whatever it is causing struggle with you. So you're not going to be feeling that great, okay? Let me go ahead and put these in the position that I'm seeing them once I've interpreted them. So you're not going to be feeling that great, and you're going to notice that you're going to want to focus on the bad, okay? You're going to want to focus on what's been bothering you. You're going to be wanting to focus on what all you want to talk about, what you want to resolve, that kind of thing. But remember, you still have some good stuff here, okay? And try as hard as you can to focus on the good, okay? Because there is definitely some great stuff going on. You're just not feeling right now like that's something that you want to focus on, because this is just so important to you to get off your chest. It's so important for you to resolve something this week. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you don't know what it is, this might come more towards the middle of the week. But this week there is going to be something that just needs to be resolved, okay? And then we've got the 4 of swords in the reverse position. And the 4 of swords for me is somebody who just has to take a step back and and rest and kind of go over what's in their head and that kind of stuff. But it's in reverse. So I feel like this is going to be a situation where it's like you're going to want to reflect. You're going to want to have some time for yourself. You're going to want to have some me time so that you can kind of mentally prepare yourself for interacting with your person, but you're gonna find that you can't find that time. It's just gonna be a really hectic week when it comes to this kind of thing. The relationship it's like when times where you want to reflect on it, times where you want to think about it, you're just not going to have that opportunity. And something else that might bother some of you is that those of you who regularly dream about your person, you're not going to be having as many dreams this week, at least, okay? Or the dreams aren't going to be as significant. They're not going to, they're going to feel kind of empty compared to normal. Now, again, this is just for the week, so just kind of keep this in mind. Let's go ahead and see what the other cards have to say. All right. We've also got Revolution and Adventurer. Okay, so your person might be gone this week. They might be going out and doing something that's real important to them. You know, maybe something with their friends, or they might be traveling, that kind of thing, or they might be maybe visiting family. It's just like they're doing something, and you're not being included in that. So I can definitely see why that would cause some problems there. But the bottom line is that you will have a turnaround. This is, I'm so glad that this came up because sometimes it's like, gosh, I'm just reading for the week, but I don't know what's going to happen next. This card ensures that this situation is temporary, okay? It is going to get better. All right, and I'm really glad that we have that. It's almost like this needs to happen in order for the time when you do end up talking about things, and the time where you do come together, it'll be a lot better. Okay, so just know that the timing isn't right now when it comes to having important communication. Okay, you guys are gonna be, you know, you're continuing to heal each other by being a force in the other's life, okay? So just really keep that in mind. The fact that the two of you have struggles isn't a negative thing. It's actually a positive thing, because it shows that the two of you are both working towards something with one another, okay? And then we've got feeling alone. That doesn't surprise me, especially with the Five of Cups energy. It's just not going to feel like a great week for you, okay? And I hate saying that. I really do. But it's what's there, you know. It's pretty obvious. It's not going to be a fun week when it comes to love. However, the main thing to think about, you know, is it is going to turn around. It actually might turn around by the end of the week. It might actually go back to feeling more balanced by then. But it will turn around next week. And this Four of Swords energy, just note that if you happen to get like a couple of minutes even here and there, that you can actually focus on, you know, kind of going through your thoughts, going through your impressions and that kind of thing, that would be really restorative for you. And again, I'm already getting that it's going to be difficult. So, you know, I don't want to sit here and give you a task to do that you can't do, but I do want to say that this is going to come up at some point this week where you're going to wish that you had more time. So if you do have some time, at any point, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just kind of reflect on that. Okay. So, you know, keep this stuff in mind. The best thing that I can tell you is that it's gonna be getting back to normal. I don't see any, like, you know, breakups or any like, I don't see anything like that. If there is distance there, it was already there. It wasn't. It's not like nothing new. Okay, I'm not seeing anything new. I'm just getting like there's stalling on this wanting to communicate thing. All right. Okay, so just check back next week if you want to know how it's going to change, because it will change. Okay, those of you who picked the Redstone, the Carnelian. Okay, so for you guys are going to have a hectic week. You got the Two of Pentacles. I always have to mention that we've got the ocean and the ships in the background. That depicts a longing. That can depict a long-distance relationship. It can also just depict that there's distance, okay? Just general distance between you. The Queen of Swords is good. And we've got the World. Okay, so you guys have a lot good going for you. The only thing is that this it's going to feel kind of hectic. You're going to feel like you're juggling things. You might come to a point this week where you and your person are trying to figure out what to do, and there's two really good things to do, and you have to make a decision. It's like when I'm seeing any kind of decisions need to be made this week for you and your person, it's like a decision between two good things, not a decision between a good thing and a bad thing, or not a decision between something that's going to move it forward or something that's going to pull it back. It's like both decisions are going to push you guys forward. So any decisions that you need to make, whether it's with that person or about that person, go ahead and know that, I mean, here's what I'd tell you. I'd say to just go ahead and do what feels best, or what you think is best, okay? Because either way is going to be positive, all right? Queen of Swords energy is kind of witty and biting. One or both of you might just happen to be very thought-oriented and connect on that intellectual level more than any other level. Or it could be that one of you kind of has an attitude this week. I'm not seeing it as getting in the way of happiness, because ultimately we've got the world. You guys feel like you have everything with one another and that kind of thing. So if you are in a situation where you feel lack in your relationship, that's going to change. You're going to be feeling like things are happening, things are there. This person is definitely, this person's doing some things for you, okay? So if this is somebody that you haven't been talking to very much lately, or somebody who basically hasn't been bringing it, that kind of thing, you're going to get some indication that there's going to be some kind of movement on their part. And I understand some situations, it's like there can be some situations where you haven't talked for such a long time that just a tiny bit of movement can be important. Like just, for example, somebody mentioning you on their, let's say, Facebook wall, right? Or somebody, or this person sending you a text, that kind of thing. That can be a big deal. And for others, it's going to be more grand gestures, more, but whatever it is, it's going to be to your situation. It's going to be tailored to your own situation, okay? So understand that for some of you, it's going to feel like you've got it all. For others, it's going to be like, oh, finally got something, that kind of thing, all right? So what you need to be focusing on when you think about this relationship this week is faith and hope. Those are two very abstract things. I mean, especially abstract things to think about, okay? Anytime we talk about anything that has to do with belief or anything that has to do with emotions, it's going to be abstract, but these are very abstract things. When we talk about hope, we're not necessarily saying hope that things are going to be a certain way. It's more like hope that things are going to get better. And when we have faith, it's that we believe in this situation. So I want to say about this relationship, the guidance that you're getting is to hope that this is going to get better. And I believe that this is actually an indicator that it's going to get better. It's a very positive omen. And also believe in this relationship, okay? You have been in a situation with this person for a little while, some of you longer than others, and there's something that draws you to this person, okay? And you've got to have faith in that particular feeling that has been pushing you towards this person. Because the more faith that you put into that feeling, the more faith you put into, you know what, I know what I'm doing. I made the decision. My heart made the decision, that kind of thing. The stronger you'll be able to feel in your convictions about this relationship, okay? And then we've got crown chakra and darkest fears. Okay, you guys are going to be having some nightmares. That's just the way it is. You're going to be having some nightmares. This might be what's causing some crankiness too, because then you're not going to be able to sleep very well, that kind of stuff. Just know it will be passing though. This is a non-traditional tarot deck. It includes the chakras. But this would be the equivalent of the 9 of Swords, which would be the night. I call it the nightmare card, but it's usually a woman who's in bed and they've woken up and they have their head in their hands and it looks like they're weeping, and there's swords hanging up in a row along the wall in this woman's bedroom. And basically what's going on in this is that this person's woken up from a nightmare, and they're very upset. They're very anxious. They're worried. Basically the worst thing that could possibly happen has just happened in their nightmare, right? One thing that's reassuring about it, though, is that it's just a nightmare. You know, and I understand when we go through something that's that stressful psychologically, even when we know that it's irrational, it can still spook us. At the same time, when we have nightmares, there is a level of reassurance that that's not the way reality actually is. So either you're going to be having nightmares, or you're going to be having trouble sleeping, or you're going to be wrapped up in some thoughts that are going to bring up some of that negativity. Just know that these are fears, and the reality of the situation is a lot better than that, okay? And just remember that imagery in the Nine of Swords. The woman's woken up and she's upset, but she's woken up to reality, okay? What she's upset about wasn't real. It wasn't what's actually going on. And I think that that's the most important thing to keep in mind there. And the reason I mentioned the Queen of Swords in relation to this, not just because of sleep, but also because, you know, this is a swords card, yes, but it also has to do with overthinking and that kind of thing. And the Queen of Swords can be prone to overthinking sometimes, okay? Crown chakra is just giving you that reassurance that this is something that you are continuing to manifest in the world. It's coming from spirit. There's something, it's coming from heaven. It's coming from God. Substitute the word that works for you. This is a situation that is, the universe is trying to push together, okay? And it's really wanting, it's really wanting this to work for you, okay? And you do have access to some of that divine guidance within yourself, okay? So you can listen to me all you want, but you've got your own stuff too. And that's ultimately going to be so much more important to listen to than me. You know, maybe I'm accurate for most people most of the time, but whatever your own intuition is telling you, this is telling you to listen to that as well, because it's coming from a source that's greater than all of us, okay? So this is actually positive, okay? We've got these fears coming up, but I mean, people will go through periods of anxiety sometimes. If it's clinical, if it becomes chronic, if it interferes with your ability to function, obviously that's going to be a big problem. But I'm just getting more that it's going to be, your anxieties are going to be heightened a little bit, especially at night. Everything else is very positive. Just asking you to, hold on to hope, hold on to faith here. Okay, so this is a very positive reading for you guys. You should have a very good week. Okay, alrighty. Hi, group 3. So those of you who picked the orange, we're gonna go ahead and call it citrine. Pretty certain that's what that is. If it's not, I apologize, but it's an orange stone. We're going to go ahead and look at the cards that you have. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, and we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. So, what this tells me is that something you've been focusing on a lot lately when it comes to matters of the heart, something's going to be offering to you that's going to resolve that emotion when it comes to your relationship this week. Now, when we get the Four of Cups, some of you have been watching my videos long enough to know that I interpret the Four of Cups differently in other decks. I've just found that each deck has their own personality and their own kinds of meanings for the different cards. This one's more about something being offered to you at the right time, right when you need to resolve your emotional needs. Okay, so you're gonna be offered something that's gonna help resolve your emotional needs, and since we're talking about your person, it's gonna be from your person. Okay, it's gonna be in this relationship. Okay. But we also have the Ace of Swords in reverse. That can mean two things. The first thing it can mean is that something wants to start, but there isn't enough communication to get that thing to just like kind of kick off between the two of you. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just know that the communication needs to be there. And then for others, this is going to mean that if you guys were kind of having arguments, or there was maybe some biting statements, some cutting statements, some some things that were painful, that's going to stop now. You're not going to have as many, like this, and this would be more like bickering than like, rageful fights, I'm just getting like more bickering stuff. That's gonna stop, okay? We also have the Six of Swords in reverse. Something's coming back to you, okay? So if you are currently in separation from your person, this would be the week where they're going to come back. This would be the week where they're going to make some kind of gesture to talk to you. Now, that might not be as major as getting a hold of you directly, but it might be something like mentioning you to their friend, and then their friend telling you about it, that kind of thing. You'll find out something that indicates that they're thinking about you, okay? This could also just mean that your person's going to return from a trip, that your person's coming back to you. This could mean that the course of the relationship itself might seem like it wasn't working, and it's going to suddenly start coming back. Like, it's going to feel like it is hopeful. There is some hope there. So just kind of keep that in mind. We have a lot of thoughts going on here, though. We've got a lot of thoughts and communication. I think communication's kind of blocked right now. And then we've also got, we've got a situation where it can be really easy to overthink things. And I know that a lot of people overthink things. So, I mean, that's kind of like a human thing to do. But just know that if you start thinking things, if you're really overthinking things, you're starting to spook yourself, you're starting to make yourself anxious and that kind of thing. If you can, because I know anxiety can be very, very difficult to control, if you can, remind yourself that's just going on in your head, okay? That might help, okay? But again, emotionally, that's what's going to be taken care of this week. There's something about your emotions that's going to be coming to a resolve, okay? So we've got harmony, again, that kind of reinforces the Ace of Swords interpretation of the two of you maybe not getting along previously, but you're going to be getting along this week. So yeah, you're going to be getting along really well. And then we've also got success. So you're going to be successful in something in your relationship this week, okay? I'm really interested in how that would play out for those of you who have a situation where you're not talking or you're in separation. But there's going to be some element of success that's going to be going on in your relationship. So if there's something, like for example, if there's something that you've been, maybe hoping your person will do, and you've been asking them to do this and they haven't done it, maybe this is going to be the week where they finally take out the trash. Or maybe this is going to be the week where they finally make that gesture that lets you know that they want to move in with you. They want to get married. They want to become engaged. They want to have a baby, that kind of thing. It's very, very successful right now. And you've got 2 6s, which lets me know that you're also going to be very stable this week as well. And I know I already mentioned that with the 4 of Cups as taking care of any kind of emotional problems, but yeah, it feels very stable. We've got open up, and then we've also got detach, which is kind of a dual message, right? Detach in this particular case has to do with more like observing, okay? Detach from a situation, really look at it for what it is. Think about what an outside observer would think about your relationship right now, and try to get into the idea of what that would be, and let that direct you into how you can communicate with them better. That's going to be the key to resolving any kind of communication issues that you're having, okay? At the same time, this is also just giving you the go-ahead that, yeah, you can open up more. You can be more yourself. You can say more than you're saying. You can let your person know more than they know, that kind of thing. It also lets me know that you're kind of blossoming right now. You're very attractive right now. This week you're going to be feeling kind of particularly empowered, that kind of thing. So take advantage of that. When we feel that, we help other people feel that as well about us. And again, this detachment, this could also have to do with needing some solitude as well. This would be for you, though. I'm not getting this for your person. This would be for you, the viewer. So yeah, because you've got your person coming back, but you might need to detach for whatever reason. Maybe take a rest and really review what you're thinking about this relationship and your perspectives and that kind of thing. But for most of you, this detachment is going to be more like an observer energy. You're going to be observing what's going on. So looks like you have a lot of stuff going on here, but the bottom line is that it's going to be successful. Something's going to be coming back to you, but this is a positive thing. This is something that's going to make you feel more stable, something that's good, and you guys are going to be getting along, okay? And emotional resolve. All right, guys? Thank you so much for staying until the end of my reading. I want to just go ahead and say, as I almost always do at the end of these, I really appreciate all the feedback and support. I want to let you know that I'm continuing to read your comments. I read all of them. I can't respond to all of them, but I do read all of them. I celebrate each and every one of you. I'm so excited about the fact that I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. It's just, I mean, every single time I hit a milestone, I celebrate it, but I also celebrate every single one of you when I get every single new subscriber. I'm like, yes, that's great. I'm just so glad that I'm able to be a helpful person for you and anybody else who's viewing this. It gets positive things out of it, okay? So it's just, you know, I'm really, really glad that I made the decision to start this channel and that I am continuing to do this. I'm really looking forward to all of the wonderful things we're going to be doing in 2019. And I just want to go ahead and say, again, thank you guys for watching. I really, really appreciate it.